Welcome back. Governors of Nigeria's southeast states are asking the federal government to urgently repair the federal roads in the region and revamp the Akanu Ibiam International Airport. The governors, members of the National Assembly from the region, and other leaders, including the President General of Ohanaeze Ndigbo, Chief John Modu, met at Government House in Enugu to discuss issues of regional interest. After the 5-hour closed-door meeting, the chairman of the forum and governor of Ebonyi State, Dave Umahi, who read their communique, said the forum is fully in support of the governorship election coming up in Anambra on November 18th.
The meeting called on the federal government to take urgent steps in repairing the roads, especially using this opportunity of dry season. Equally of importance is the ignorable state for Akanu Ibiam International Airport, especially the runway, terminal buildings, and cargo shelter. We request that urgent steps be taken to address the problems at the airport. The meeting expressed satisfaction at the willingness and readiness of Anambra people to come out in mass and participate on the November 18, 2017 governorship election. And we therefore urge INEC to ensure that the election takes place as scheduled. No shifting of date of the election.
Meanwhile, the governor of Akwa Ibom State, Udom Emmanuel, wants the Independent National Electoral Commission in the state to expand locations of the continuous voter registration to the riverine areas. Governor Udom says the expansion will create awareness and generate interest for greater participation. He also assured the state resident electoral commissioner, Mr. Mike Igini, of his government's support.
If we can just allow things run on a free and fair basis, it doesn't actually matter. Some of us you see in this political arena, to us is a call to service. We believe we're also accountable to God for what we do to our human beings there. But at the same time, somebody like me, I came in here, I said I will do inclusive politics. And believe me, since we started, even in our political party, from World Congresses up to today, we've conducted in a way that there have never been even a knockout, not to talk of gunshots. I want to reassure you that we allow things run the normal way. That's number one. Number two, we assure you of maximum cooperation. In any way you want us as a state government to operate.
Whatever we have done in this country, outside Nigeria with respect to election that we have been involved to do, to promote peace, to ensure that there's no violence, is what I, under my watch here, will do. Election here will provide a level playing field.
Let's take a detour now to talk about your health. When last did you check your blood pressure? As some people may have to think deeper than others, but the fact, according to medical experts, is knowing your numbers and taking positive steps when necessary are major steps to averting a stroke. Ahead of global attention on stroke prevention awareness, neurologists at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital, LUTH, raised concerns of a seeming increase in the number of stroke cases in young people. Why, you may ask? Our correspondent, Yomi Otaigbe, tells us more.
People going about their daily activities. Many, according to health experts, are oblivious of some medical conditions that may strike before their symptoms manifest. One of these conditions is stroke. The World Health Organization estimates that out of 17.7 million mortality owing to cardiovascular diseases, 6.7 million were as a result of stroke.
For hypertension,
neurologists in Nigeria are concerned that stroke is the most common medical emergency in all teaching hospitals, accounting for up to 8 out of 10 neurological hospital admissions.
Averagely, on a yearly basis, out of we have about 200,000 cases of stroke developing yearly. And of all these, about 153 out of 100,000 will die. Okay, and it also translates to the fact that every 2 minutes, someone in this country is dying in favor of stroke. So it's really got into epidemic proportion that something needs to be done.
Most strokes tend to occur in people who are in their middle age, above 60. However, the trend that we are seeing, particularly stroke patients that get to hospital, is that we have a large proportion of stroke in young people. Many of these young people are young people who have high blood pressure, hypertension, and do not know they have it, or have it and they have not controlled the hypertension.
Medical imaging showing a stroke which occurs owing to interruptions of blood supply to the brain. Symptoms for these conditions, such as severe headache, sudden weakness of the face, arm or leg, especially on one side, often appear after the damage has been done to the brain.
If someone has high blood pressure, you must make sure you scrupulously treat that blood pressure and get it normal all the time. That's one of the biggest measures we can reduce stroke, high blood pressure. Of course, there are other things like diabetes. If you are diabetic, the person must always ensure that you control that diabetes so that you will not have a stroke.
Knowing that cigarette smoking is a risk factor, knowing that excess alcohol intake is a risk factor, knowing that a lack of exercise or obesity are risk factors, it means that you can begin to address them. But let me emphasize that hypertension, we still refer to it as the silent killer, for the reason that hypertension has no symptoms. It has symptoms when it is causing complications. So if you're waiting to have a symptom or a sign from hypertension, may have gone quite far.
As the saying goes, prevention is better than cure. But if a stroke or any other medical condition is observed, seeking prompt medical attention is important. Yomi Otaigbe reporting for Channels Television News.
Without good roads to transport farm produce, farmers would continue to toil hard with very little to show for it. In some agrarian communities in Atiba local government area of Oyo State, farmers are appealing to the government to help them as commercial vehicle operators are no longer plying the routes owing to the bad roads in the area. Our community report tonight examines the agony of transporting farm produce by small-scale farmers and efforts being made to address the challenge in the state.
This is a road that links Oyo town to the farming communities in the hinterland that produce food for the state. No thanks to decades of neglect of road infrastructure, it has become terribly dilapidated. The people of these communities continue to rue their losses, especially the perishable farm produce.
Anta fẹ́ ni pé kí wọ́n wá sí ọ̀nà yìí kọ́ dáa wàhálà ọ̀nà yìí pọ̀ ọ̀dà là ń fẹ́ ọ̀dà wàhálà ti pọ̀ jù ṣùṣubú ni làwọn ọkọ̀ ń ṣubú ọkọ̀ bíi kọ́fẹ́ gbẹ́lélẹ̀ ń gbà mí gbogbo ẹ̀ bọ́sà ti wà náà.
A closer look at these communities tells the story of a very desperate situation. Farmers in the farming communities of Babaude, Otefan, Baleagbe, and Sabo areas laments the frustrations of several years of poor road network. According to them, the bad roads have hindered the farmers from making any significant profit on their produce.
The road to Baleagbe to Otefan has been bad for almost 20 years. We implore the government to help us, as no vehicle wants to come for our produce again, as the vehicles get stuck in the bad portions of the road for 3 to 4 days mostly. When we harvest fresh maize or cassava and it stays for days in the truck without getting to its destination, it's double loss, as the farmer loses his harvest and still has to pay for the vehicle owners. Government should please come to our aid.
With the launch of the Rural Access and Mobility Project by federal and state governments, residents of the affected communities now expect to heave a sigh of relief.
In the last 6 to 8 months, we have entered into a collaborative effort with the World Bank under a policy called Rural Access and Mobility Program, RAMP. And the whole idea behind RAMP is to be able to open up our rural areas so that we can move these abundant harvests that we are beginning to witness to the market.
We got a submission from the various 28 agrarian local governments of the states, over 1,000 roads. But the terms of reference restricts and limits us to between 500 and 800 kilometers. So to date, what we have for this first phase of the RAMP project is 70 roads with a total length of over 700 kilometers.
However, despite the rural access intervention, the farming communities face the disappointment of being excluded in the ongoing efforts to rehabilitate rural roads. As the people await assistance from the government, the farmers are asking the government at both state and federal levels to make good their promises to boost local production in providing the necessary infrastructure for them.
And now to the arts. Unleash the Power of the Girl Child is a mural art project done by selected female students. It's a platform to talk about things that affect their gender and draw more attention to it. Our trivia tonight shows you what they came up with.
Female students invited to be part of a project that would unleash their potentials. Girls go through a lot, and it's important to keep talking about the issues so they can build their confidence and not be silent about the negatives.
Girl Child Art Foundation is a non-profit dedicated to inspiring girls, educating girls through arts. We try to handle issues around the girl child using all forms of arts as a means of communication. That's basically what we do.
For 3 days, they were involved in different things, including this mural painting, a project that fosters unity as they work together to achieve this goal.
It's basically about always coming together in unity, standing up for what is right, giving the girl child a voice apart from the one she has, making her being able to talk in the society and make herself known and make herself useful to the world at large.
Notice the attention to details. Vibrant colors, different social media icons, and names that can give one an idea about what this piece is all about.
We are using arts to kind of show everybody how we're supposed to stand up to each other and be something unique in life.
It's the kind of unity that needs to move beyond these walls, and the organizers observe what these young hands, supported by a few established artists, are creating.
The drawing or the painting actually depict the influences that the girl child is faced with, or the issues that they are faced with. So we're saying, in essence, despite all these issues that they are faced with, the most important thing, or the bedrock of their growth, is education. It is key that despite what they are surrounded with, they need to be more informed. With that information, then they're able to take themselves to the next.
The painting is a big part of the project, as some of them share their different experiences, capturing how online platforms have shaped and influenced them.
It's basically showing us how there's more to life than what we can see. There's a deeper meaning to what a girl can do. There's a deeper meaning to what a girl can say. There's a different meaning into what the world means itself. There's a different meaning to what we are doing today. It's not just about painting, not just about using colors, not about using lines to exhibit something. It's about showing the world that we are worth something, and we're humans too, and we can influence the world, we can change the world. The future is female, basically.
This This is not a flash in the pan. The organizers intend to keep this conversation going and add their voices to the many others asking that the girl gets a better deal.
Still ahead of the news at 10, Mercedes driver Lewis Hamilton wins his 4th World Championship of his illustrious Formula One career, despite a difficult race at the Mexico Grand Prix. Stay with us.